It's the big show. Yes, it's a big fat show tonight. Yeah, it's the big show. Come on, crank it up and turn on all the lights, y'all. Well, get ready for something that you never know. You won't see it coming, but I promise you know. The big
Oh yeah. We switched up the theme music tonight just to try something a little new. We rolled the big show, cause it is the big show. It's hump day. Whoop whoop. God. Is that Ivan is on time? What's going on, Ivan? Fabs, say what's up in the chat over here. It's the chat. Yes, that's right. It's me. It is. What day is it? It is Wednesday. Hump day. Whoop whoop. Good evening, friendos. Wednesday, April 29th, 2020. A tepid 12 degrees outside, and I'm your Hump Day hero, the main man of the man cave. That's right, Don Vermillion. Welcome to Hump Day on Don Vermillion. Now we have a viewer advisory before we get started. Due to mature themes, Don Vermillion Live is not recommended for anyone under the age of 12. Due to immature themes, Don Vermillion Live is not recommended for anyone over the age of 20. That's right. Now that we have that out of the way, first thing we got to do, as always, wash your hands. That's right. You cannot do anything in this day and age. Yeah. Without a little... Oh, that's the good stuff. Wash your hands right there. The hands are washed. The nose got a little in there. Whew, it's quite pungent. But welcome, Don Vermillion Live, Wednesday's Hump Day. It's going to be the Hump Day show from now on because that's hilarious no matter which way you cut it. But welcome, my friendos. We've washed your hands. Now, before we get started, I would like to remind you that we have some fine sponsors. Of course, Don Vermillion Live is brought to you by Royale Toilet Paper. Avoid a stripe. Use Royale to wipe. Corona Beer does not cause the coronavirus. Delicious. Does not cause the coronavirus. And, of course, our good friends at Diet Coke, as always, thirst quenching in your time of need. Royale, you get in touch with me. I'd be happy to share some of my many and diverse, excellent quality marketing slogans with you. We have, so much to talk about today. I know it's only been since Monday when we had Surly Sal on, but we've got a lot going on. I want to talk about a lot about what life and society are like today, and kind of in like looking at things as they've changed and that sort of deal. One of the things, my motivation I've noticed is taking a nosedive, and I've noticed you youths out there, it's taking a nosedive too, because getting you guys to do work is like pulling teeth, man. What is up with that? You got to learn something, even if you don't care about the grades. You got to learn something, especially now. You better learn some computers because looks like a lot of your life is going to be spent on them in the near future. But yeah, so it's tough to get going. Another thing I noticed, I am showering way more than ever before. It's crazy. I don't know if I just needed to burn time, but like, I don't know. By the end of the day, I think just laying around the house and like doing the kids and the cleaning and the cooking and all that stuff, I feel like I need like a bonus shower in the day for some reason. I'm like, I need an extra, like I can't do this shower. I have a shower right before the show. I can't do it without a shower. I don't know. It wakes me up. Kind of perks me out there, and I don't know, I feel like clean. And now that I've had my alcohol hand sanitizer bath, I am extra clean. That's right. But yeah, so I don't know. There are a lot of things that annoy me, and I started making a list of these today, and I'm like, man, I'm as bad as Surly Sal. Monday's on the show, Surly Sal, he's in about Surly. But my annoyances are less, I guess, don't touch the face, don't touch the face. My annoyances are less grand scale and more small scale, if I had to describe them. groceries. I'm going to talk more about groceries when we get to the top 10 today. Top 10 things that are the new normal, so to speak, or you might expect, kind of like that. We're going to talk about that. But groceries for me used to be a really fun time. Like, I don't know. I'd like to go out and I'd go and I would walk the aisles with my list and I'd see something. I'd be like, oh, well, this is a different flavor, a different brand. I could check it out. And then, oh, what fresh meat is at the butcher shop today? It was kind of fun. I realize that makes me old as dirt, but it is kind of fun going to the grocery store, checking stuff out. Oh, seeing what's there. Oh, I haven't had Lucky Charms in a while. I'm a grown up now. I can buy myself Lucky Charms, and Mom, you can't do anything about it. Ah, but yeah, but now the world has kind of ruined that fun. Now I got to go to the stupid website and I got to book a day for delivery 2 weeks in advance, and then I got to click all the stuff I want. And then if it's not on sale, I got to look for something else, and then I got to search. And then what if it's not the one I'm looking for? And then I make a list, and then I order it, and then it gets delivered, and then half the stuff didn't get delivered. Now I got to make another order. There is no fun in groceries. And then on top of that, when you get it, you got to wipe it off and let things sit, and there's no fun in groceries anymore. I'll tell you that, my friends. Groceries used to be fun. They are no longer fun. What are you going to do? Speaking of groceries, cauliflower. Cauliflower? What is the nose? It's driving me crazy. I'm going to spray a bottle of sanitizer in there. Cauliflower, we got to talk. What is up? I mean, I blame glutens for this, first of all. What is up with cauliflower suddenly being considered an acceptable substitute for anything? Now, my wife is guilty of this to some extent. She loves the cauliflower products, and hey, if you like them, cool. But what's up? You cannot call cauliflower rice because it's not. It's cauliflower that's chopped up in the shape of rice. A cauliflower pizza is not a pizza. That's round, flat cauliflower with stuff on it. A cauliflower mash is not a suitable or acceptable substitute for mashed potatoes. And I know my Ukrainian friendos are there. They're like, what? You insulted the mighty potato? No, exactly. I don't understand how and when we began to accept the semi-tolerable cauliflower as an acceptable, tolerable substitute for anything. So glutens, I blame you and your weird ways of coming up with things that are gluten-free. There was gluten-free orange juice in the fridge in the grocery store last time I was there. What part of orange juice previously had gluten that requires you to label it gluten-free? I'm on to your tricks. Don't just label it gluten-free so the weird glutens will try it. You can't trust a gluten. In fact, my litmus test for friends is you have to eat a loaf of sourdough and drink a beer. And if you don't keel over dead, then you can be my friend. I'm just saying. Maybe I'll put that test in my classes too. Eat a slice of toast, and then we'll see what happens. Yes, glutens, this is your fault. I bet the coronavirus is because some gluten ate something that had some effect. And I don't think it's bats at all. I think it's glutens. Just saying, glutens. Anyways, another thing that's on my nerves, Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen. First of all, who's Chrissy Teigen other than John Legend's wife? What should we know her for? I read somewhere she's a model. All right. I've never seen or heard of her before. That all she seems to do is start internet beefs, and then I have to watch news articles on my screen that say Chrissy Teigen claps back at the haters. First of all, if you clap back at anything, you're an idiot. You could talk trash. You could have an argument. You could throwing shade and clapping back is for dummies. All right. So if you've ever clapped back or thrown shade, you're a dummy. You're an internet dummy, and that you straight from the horse's mouth. All right. So I don't have tolerance for clapping back. You can clap back at my show and I'll put the smackdown on you. I've got that. But there will be no clapbacks on this show. I'll tell you that right now. Donnie V, don't play that clapping backety back stuff. No. Anyways, so that's my third thing. My third thing, I don't have a school update today. We already talked about exams are canceled, so don't worry about faking an injury. And And the school year is going to extend right till the end of June. I mean, I know it says May 31st, but there's no chance we're going back in June. I don't know, drink some hand sanitizer if we're going back in June. It's not going to happen. But I'm telling you, so one of the things I've noticed, though, is the school powers that be. I don't want to say the school board, because I'm probably not a board policy, but there's a lot of different departments in our school. And not just our school, like any school, like the school system. You got communications and HR and the director and all these different people, IT, and then each individual school. And you got high schools and elementary schools, and each one of those has a division. And so there's a lot. But why do we use 1990s, 2000 era email updates for everything? Here's an example. I made a list of the updates I've received as emails sent to everyone that works for our board. Here's what I got. I get a weekly. This is just in less than a week. This is like 4 or 5 days worth. I got a weekly wrap up. I got 2 director's messages, which I get it. You're the director. You send me as many messages as you want, Mr. Director. I'm cool with that. I have a communications update, a communications weekly update, and then other communications updates relating to things people sent communications. Then I had an IT department weekly update and maintenance updates. Then I had an HR update, a mental health bulletin, a technology newsletter, a distance learning resources letter every day, a Catholic community update, a service desk alert, a public meeting and virtual town hall message. That's like 40 emails, and I haven't even done this much of a job yet, people. Cut it out. Make a bullet. Does anyone read them? They're like 10 screens long, too. I'm like, I gotta be honest. I read the headline, doesn't relate to me, delete. I'm like, you gots to cut back on the email, people. You're killing us. Somewhere trees are dying. I don't know how, but these emails are killing trees. I don't know, make a website with alerts. And I don't mind. You can punitively punish me if there's some important email you sent that I deleted, or if it was on the alert board and I didn't see it. However, when you send me 90 emails, you're not allowed to get mad at me for missing one, because 89 of them are useless. And inevitably somebody says to me, hey, did you see that email about the thing that you're supposed to know about? And I'm like, oh, I didn't. And then I go back through my delete bin and I find it. But come on with the emails, man. You're killing me. That's what's on Donnie V's mind today. That's the rants today. It's getting me fired up right off the get-go, I tell you. Anyways, it's out of control. I don't know. I feel we could probably somebody must write these things too. Like, can't we put them on curing the coronavirus or something, man? There's got to be a better use for this than sending me 90 emails a week about stuff. In other news, Donnie V's looking for a new job again. All right. So what else? News about the virus. We're not out of the woods yet, people. Justin Trudeau said it, and I noticed it has been, I don't know. It's been a couple days since we did this. I feel like we got to bring it back one more time. Here he is, speaking moistly.
Wash our hands often to our elbows. These are the things we know. If people want to wear a mask, that is okay. These are the things we know. That prevents you from speaking moistly. Keep 2 meters apart. Speaking moistly.
All right, that cheers me up any day of the week. I got to be honest. Despite my rant, that is thoroughly enjoyable, Justin. Thank you. That is almost as spicy as Don Vermillion's unreasonably spicy hella hot salsa. Your best choice for when your taste buds need a stiff punch in the mouth. But yeah, Justin, I don't think I'll ever get tired of speaking moistly. There's really never a bad time for speaking moistly. But yeah, it's sorry I ruined your life, Carolina. My bad. So yeah, that's my rant for the day. Now, I guess it kind of carries into my covidiots rant, and we have a new screen for the covidiots. Hey, why you be covidiot? So COVID, listen, Trudeau told us we're not out of the woods yet. Every second generation or so has something like this. We had Spanish flu and you had the plague back in the day. And it's like every 100 years or so this happens. So if you happen to be, most of us live to 50. So every other generation or so, you're going to experience some crazy stuff like this. However, the level of anger I have heard from people who want to reopen despite the disease not really being gone yet is quite alarming. This idea of I've heard it said, we've waited long enough, let's get back to business. Now, we've waited long enough. That doesn't mean the disease is gone. Your tolerance for social distancing and quarantining and isolation are not at all related to the virulence or chances you're going to catch the disease and die. And as an executive-sized gentleman that uses one of these things, no, stay socially distanced. I don't like your nonsense idea of you coming up to me and speaking moistly in my direction trying to kill me. That ain't cool. Not cool, people. So, yeah. So Trump wants to reopen too. We talked a lot about Trump last day. He doesn't get that much airtime on this show. Forget it. But he's passing the buck. He's like, I want to reopen, but it's up to the governors. And then any governor that says, I'm going to hold off, we don't want to reopen yet, he's like, whoa, you're an idiot. So his strategy is like, if they reopen and it's a success, he's like, well, see, I said we should reopen. And if they don't, or if they do and it's a failure, then he's like, well, I told you not to reopen, because he could just selectively choose whichever quote he said on a given Tuesday or Wednesday. Pretty clever. I don't know how people buy it, but they do. My other point about this, though, I know we're on the couch, but I've mentioned our forefathers died in trenches, and we're worried about sitting on the couch for a few weeks or months. The Blitz in London. I don't know if you guys are familiar. If you've taken grade 10 history, my grade 10 history even, and you remember anything, the Blitz in London was the Germans bombing the bejesus out of England. It lasted 8.5 months. People lived in subway tunnels, squished in with thousands of other people for 8.5 months. And we're moaning about, I gotta be on my couch and play PlayStation for a while. Give me a break. As they say in Italian. It's my Italian. It's very on point. So yeah, get with the Spanish flu infected 500 million people. There's only 1.5 billion people in the world at the time. That's 30% of the world. Killed almost 50 million people. And at the start, it started in springtime. And everybody was like, oh, the soldiers are back and they brought this crazy disease and people are getting sick and dying and it's real bad. We better be careful. And then they're like, oh, it started to get better. Let's be less careful. And they threw a victory parade in Philadelphia in the summer and so on. All this post-war celebration stuff. And guess what? Millions of more people died because it came back worse than ever. So, hey, suck it up, snowflakes. Not just you millennial snowflakes this time. Snowflakes of any variety moaning about having to be in their basement. Now, there are people I do feel bad for. Some of the people I do feel bad for. If you live in an apartment with little kids, I live in a townhouse with little kids, and I can tell you that's no cup of tea sometimes. So if you live in an apartment with little kids, God bless your soul. I don't know, buy them a hamster wheel because I feel your pain. But that said, they're at least alive and so are you. So that's what I'm talking about. Don't be a covidiot. Just suck it up and live with the, situation we have. It's, it could always be worse. You could have coronavirus. Now, the top 10 today, the top 10 is top 10 things that might never be the same. But before we get to that, we have an unprecedented number of birthdays today. Famous birthdays, but none more famous than regular viewer and, we're going to talk about that, Carolina, the resources we have. That comes up in the top 10, actually. But birthdays today, none more important today than longtime viewer Jay Schloss. What's up, Jillian? Happy birthday. You growed up now. You done growed up now. You're 18. You can sign your own admit slips for school. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter anymore. But also, it's all downhill from here. Sorry to ruin it for you, but 18 in a day and you've hit the peak and it's all over. Actually, that's not true. 25. If you make it to 25, you're still a little up. But after 25, it's a precipitous drop, my friends. So savor that 23rd, 24th, 25th year as much as you can. But famous birthdays you share with Jay Schloss, there's like a bajillion. So I picked some highlights. Uma Thurman, Catherine Langford, Michelle Pfeiffer, Jessica Alba, Daniel Day-Lewis, all famous actors. Nicely done. April 29th is a huge day for birthday. Who knew? Who knew? Well, Jonathan Taves knew. Andre Agassi, Dale Earnhardt, and the Babster, Mike Babcock. You said, was that enough birthdays for you? No, it's not. Well, then also Jerry Seinfeld, Willie Nelson, Master P, and Duke Ellington. And you're like, wait, all of those are actors, musicians, and athletes that are quite likable. Are there any unlikable people that have my birthday? Well, yes, there are. William Randolph Hearst, one of the first billionaires and an all-around evil guy, kind of like Fox News before Fox News. If you've ever seen the movie Citizen Kane, one of the greatest movies ever made, it's about him. Bernie Madoff, he of the Pyramid Scheme. Alexander II of Russia, the rich noble that starved his people. Hirohito, Emperor and Overlord of Japan in World War II. And the incomparable Saddam Hussein. So, Jay Schloss, you have a veritable pantheon of characters to choose from to celebrate your birthday with. Happy birthday for you, my friend. All right, let's talk about the top 10, because we got a serious business kind of top 10 today. I just got to slide my top 10 over here and get to the top 10. There it is, the top 10. All right, top 10 things that might never be the same. Now, I asked the Instagram, and if you haven't watched, right there it is, Don.Vermillion on Instagram. But if you haven't checked it out, go for it. All kinds of hilarity, me making fun of you often even on Instagram, so do that. But a couple of things that came up on Instagram. Kids have more responsibilities. I hope some of you do, because some of you are cocooning in a pile of snowflake. But the rest of you, help your family more. Take out the trash. Maybe sweep. Crazy, I know. Cleaning lady can't come over right now, so maybe you can do some of that. Hey, do the dishes, clean up after dinner, make dinner. In fact, we're going to have a Donnie V special event, Don Vermillion Live, coming up sometime in the next week or two, where we won't have our high graphic format, but instead we're going to set up the webcam in the kitchen, and Donnie V is going to teach you how to cook something that you can make when you go to university next year, and so you'll at least have one meal that's not craft dinner. We're going to do that. DV Live in the DV kitchen. Yes. But okay, top 10. What else? Technology's changed a lot with something else. People said they're like, it's like we live in a sci-fi movie where everything's done by cameras and stuff, except I'm not on Mars. I was promised I could be on Mars if I had to talk to everyone by webcam. Now it's not cool. Mars is not Mars. I mean, it's a little more comfortable probably, but a lot less interesting overall. Although Mars might lose its appeal after the first week, because it's kind of nothing there. And unless there were Martians, then I guess. Okay. Other things that's changed before I get to the top 10. The chili cook-off. I can't show Mastro that her fake weak sauce chili is not the best one. I'm the 3-time champion. You know you cheated last year to win the chili cook-off. I'm calling you out. The only chili champion, Don Vermillion's triple threat chili. The only chili that's best for your mouth often goes good with Don Vermillion's unreasonably, yeah, you get it. All right. So the top 10. Don is talking fast and furious today, and way more interesting and less scripted than those movies. So number 10, travel. Travel's not going to be the same, not just by a plane, but like bus and boat and, I don't know, motor scooter and whatever. It's going to be tough, man, because you're going to be crowded. You can't crowd 60 people on a bus anymore. I don't know if you've ever taken a Greyhound anywhere, but first of all, you're like in a petri dish of disgusting. So that's not great for Corona. Airplanes are mildly better. The best, if you have to travel an airplane, go to Tahiti. Tahiti Air only has one flight a day, but all seats on the plane are first class, and it is beautiful. Best way to travel. Do not regret flying Tahiti Air ever. It was great. Now, if only all the planes were like that, we'd be on to something. But the travel industry is getting crushed. And they're going to have to change the way they do business simply because it's unsustainable right now if we have to change social distancing and all that kind of stuff. The train suddenly looks a lot better. I don't know if you've ever taken the train, but it's spacious. You could walk around. You can, there's a dining car that's spread out nicely. You can have a seat with one or two other people, and that's all. Or just yourself even. And also I used to use the strategy when I had to take the bus from school back in the day, not the school bus, like the Greyhound back home. I would hack up a storm anytime anyone I didn't want to sit beside me got on that bus. So if you're getting on the bus and I'm like, I don't want you sitting beside me, I'll be like, nowadays that people will take that serious. They will not go near you, I don't think. So I'm just saying. Okay, number 9, air quality, probably related to travel. I don't know if you've noticed, but go look online for some of those before and afters for before Corona and now. And like Beijing and India and London, England and Toronto and New York and the Los Angeles, it's beautiful. The air is clear and breezy. There's nary a bit of smog. Animals are occasionally being seen on the streets. I'll tell you, it's a whole new world, right? Yeah. I've been watching Aladdin a bit too much lately. All right, number 8, school/work, of course, is going to be different. You've got your online learning and from home, and one of the things, I don't need to tell you about that because you're living it, and your parents are living it, and your siblings are living it. But one of the things I've noticed is I think this trend towards online is really going to demonstrate the haves versus the have-nots. And the wealthier and the poorer, because unless there's some kind of equality coming, it's a problem, because you've got people that have to do online learning now that might not have the right technology, or people that have jobs where they can't work from home because they're in the service industry for a smaller wage and they have to go into work. And now if you have a salaried job that involves sitting at a computer, who does that, right? You can work from home and have an advantage in that area. That's something I think we're going to have to reconcile or find some kind of solution with, whether it's having a universal basic income like the States, some people want to do in the States. They don't have it yet. Obviously, it's a big point of contention. Or even in Canada, having a minimum wage that meets a certain standard of life. I realize it's not the popular view for someone that's, career-minded and successful, but I don't mind paying the taxes we pay, or even a bit more, if it means the overall standard in society is going to get better. Because if everybody's standard gets better, that means we all live better. So, and no, that's not communism. It's not how it works. So if you're going to say that, and if you're watching, you're like, communist, you're a covidiot, because that's not how communism works. Number 7, related to that, number 5 is coming up on that. Number 5 is coming up, but number 7, leisure time. Leisure time. Suddenly a newfound enthusiasm for the outdoors from everyone. I don't know if you noticed, but everyone likes the outdoors suddenly. I've heard students even say they're sick of Xbox. What? Crazy. Number 6, dating. How are you going to date? And how do you know, if you decide to kiss the person you went on a date with, that you're not going to get some latent asymptomatic coronavirus? Just saying. Maybe it's better just to virtually date. Then if you break up, you can just turn off your computer. Just saying. Number 5, related to the haves and have-not, internet. There's a strong push for making internet a universal basic service. Apple, it's like, yeah, virtual dating, that'll work out great, right? Apple, it's social distancing. As I was saying, the internet. There's a big push to make it a basic human right, as in something everyone should, by law, have access to, like housing and food and so on. You can't really survive in this day and age without the internet. You can't survive without this show, but I mean, that too. But the internet, man, you need it. So I think that's definitely something that's going to be a big change. Number 4, cash. I don't know about you, but I don't want to touch anybody's nasty cash now. I don't know where it's been. It was dirty before. Now it's COVIDy. I ain't down with that. I will pay plastic. Amazon, if you had money to invest, I said this on one of my Instagram broadcast before I invented this nonsense, but you should have been buying, and if you listen to me, you owe me money because you're rich now. You should have been buying Netflix, Amazon, any delivery service, Purelator, FedEx. They're all making out like bandits. If you'd listened to DV, you'd be a richy rich. Just saying. All right, number 3, shopping. Shopping is obviously different. I ranted about groceries, but one of the benefits of this, suddenly, the mom and pop shop is popular again. The big chains are suffering because people don't want to go to the Walmart petri dish of COVID. Instead, they're trusting their local guy who will go to their house to bring the product the same day, or meet them out front and put it in their trunk. They don't have to get out of the car, and there's like a sort of a personal factor, and you're not meeting random Walmart schlubs in Walmart. Not the employees. I'm talking about the people that go to Walmart. If you ever go to that blog, People of Walmart, it's scary. All right, who wouldn't want to wear a fur parka with no pants? Well, that happens in Walmart, I'm telling you. So, just saying. What else? Luxury goods are also getting cooked because suddenly people are like, maybe I don't need that $900 Supreme t-shirt. Maroon, you people with the Supreme t-shirt. It's a rip-off brand sold to teenagers who have too much money. But anyways, maybe you don't need that because no one's seeing you anyways. In fact, this shirt doesn't even go all the way down. It stops about 3 inches below the screen bottom. Why? And pants, who needs those, right? I'm not saying I'm not wearing pants. But my point is that luxury shopping is not as necessary anymore. What are we going to do? You have a fancy watch. Well, who's going to see it? I guess I could wear a watch and be like, what time is it, guys? Man, I'm choking. Man, oh man, we have a Diet Coke break before we get to the last two. That hits the spot every time, I'll tell you. It's like Colt 45, works every time. I miss you, Lando Calrissian. Billy D. All right, where was I here? Number 2, restaurants. That industry is crushed. But I'll tell you, if there's 2 things I miss, it's number 2 and number 1. I miss going out for dinner. A, you don't have to bring your kids. You guys don't get it because you were the kids that we're leaving. But you don't have to bring your kids. Lovely. A nice, calm dinner with no one crying, throwing things, complaining, demanding. You can order your own food at your own pace. I miss you, restaurants. The Keg, I miss you. Just saying. Even, I don't know, even, 3 in the morning Taco Bell. That's always a good idea, 3 in the morning Taco Bell. I miss you, Taco Bell. There's words you thought you'd never hear. I miss you, Taco Bell. Burger Priest, I can tell you I miss you. Hit me up, brother. I'll give you a free sponsorship on the show for product. You just got to deliver. All right, and number one thing, sports. What? It's driving me crazy. There are no sports. The NFL better not cancel. I don't care if the plague shows up in addition to Corona. There better be NFL this year. I'm serious, people. Because you think I'm surly now? Oh, bring me my sports. My Bruins are the Stanley Cup champions as far as I'm concerned because they finished in first place. The Raptors are the NBA champions. Same reason, because they finished in first place. But damn it, I want my sports back. My football. Even coaching. I'll even put up with some of the nitwits I coach. Not looking at you, Applet. Oh, man. I'm telling you. Exactly. Rub some dirt on it and get back in the game, fellas. Jordan played with a fever, so should you. Ruthless on the Don V show today. All right, so that is our top 10, my friends. Now, because it's been a little feisty today, we have a happier, more relaxed kind of song of the day. Now, the movie of the day and the song of the day have the same name. Just because I thought that would be cool. Now, the movie of the day is Stand By Me. Because Stand By Me, if you've never seen it, it's an 80s flick, coming-of-age movie, boys going on a crazy adventure, a dead body and a gun and all kinds of good stuff. If you've never seen the movie Stand By Me and you are a teenager, go watch the movie Stand By Me. It's terrific. I have tagged the trailer on Donnie V's music and movie recos playlist on donvermillion.com. So you go to donvermillion.com, takes you right to the YouTube page. You can watch this again, who wouldn't want to. But also you can check out the music and movie trailers. But our song of the day, Will Wheaton is in it. Thank you, 2 points for Logan. Now I know why I'm passing you in my class. Friends in my class, don't forget also tomorrow we have our big guest speaker from Digital Extremes coming in. That's right. So That's going to be happening 1 o'clock tomorrow. Anyone else who's interested in tuning in to hear the COO of Digital Extremes talk about technology and business and all kinds of crazy stuff and the gaming industry in general, hit me up. I'll give you the link. You can stream in and watch live as well. Anyways, yeah, Will Wheaton for the win. So our song of the day, however, also by the same name, Benny King, Stand By Me.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky.
Oh, that's a good jam. Unfortunately, we can't play the whole thing because of those copyright laws. They block my videos when I play an entire song. So I don't want to have to go back and edit it. But stand by me. If you want to hear the whole thing, it's posted on Donnie V's Music and Movie Recos. One of the good things you guys have to look forward to randomly in your life moving forward is the copyright on a lot of these songs is going to expire, and they'll become public domain, and you can use them anywhere. It's kind of cool. Anyways, my friends, unless we have something pressing that anyone needed me to talk about, I think that's about all the time I got for today. We're already 6 minutes into overtime of Donnie V blithering and blathering on this, the Hump Day edition of Don Vermillion Live. So that's Surly Sal. Yeah, see, Surly Sal, I think we found Surly Sal's theme song. If it's not we were thinking about making it the Big Show, actually, although it's just too entertaining for me to steal as a alternate opening theme for Donnie V. But we've got some good ones for Surly Sal also that... there's some classics. There's an Italian one called Shut You Face, too, which is also for Surly Sal. But we're gonna see what will make him maybe the most surly, because we want him at peak surly on Mondays. So we're back Friday for Friday Night Lights, and again on Monday with Surly Sal, part 3 of his 3-part series recently. That's what's up. And again, if you're in my class, make sure you're online for 1 o'clock tomorrow. We got the big guest speaker coming in. On that note, my friends, as they always say, or at least as I always say, if you don't know, now you know. I'm Don Vermillion.